Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons. A very special senior walk right there with the Walk of Brothers on Senior Day. The Bisons win 44-13 over East Central on Saturday afternoon, and quite a way to end the home slate with a victory on Saturday.
Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, just the chance to honor those seniors that have meant so much to this program. I think those guys have won 38 games now in their career, and boy, the leadership they provide has been unbelievable, and loves sending those guys out in style for sure.
So it was Senior Day, and we'll come back and we'll look at the Senior Day festivities and the first half highlights here in a moment. Bisons win it again on Saturday. They've now won 7 straight football games, and we'll come back with more on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons after this.
When I was 6, I had one thing on my mind. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball every chance I could. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
Back on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons, the Bisons after a 44-13 victory over East Central on Saturday. Senior Day, always a special day everywhere in the country, and no different here at Harding. As the seniors coach, I know it was very important for you. That's a great moment for you as your first year as head coach, but boy, you've been around these guys their entire career here at Harding.
I have, and actually what you said is about it being no different here is really not true. It's a lot different because it's a lot more special. We kind of feel like everybody in the country talks about family, but a lot of folks don't really live that. But boy, we live it here, and we love these young men, and they mean the world to us. And this is my first bunch of seniors, but like you said, a lot of these guys are guys that we've had for 5 years, and a lot of them are guys that I went to their home and recruited them, and boy, we've been up and down and had all kind of heartaches and struggles and awesome victories. And, I told the guys before the game, and I hope they believe me, I'd love to be 9-0 and 10-0 and just rocking along and everything be easy. But I'm more proud of these seniors right now, being 7-3 and the way we got there, what we had to go through, the tremendous adversity, sitting there 0-3, and I'm going to tell you now, it was really, really tough. But as you watch these guys walk through there, and I just wish you could know how special these guys are. Their leadership, their warrior spirit, their accountability, how selfless they are. How many of those guys have said to me over and over, Coach, my role was not important. I just want the team to win. I want to be a great teammate. I want to be a great brother, and we are going to miss these guys unbelievably. They have left a gigantic impact on this program, and I'm telling you right now, those guys are going to do things. They're going to go out and do special things in the world, and they're going to be guys that make great changes, and just really, really proud of them and excited to see them go out with a victory.
And you talk about guys, Coach, that have been here throughout their career, but then you talk about a guy like Danny Harry. I know it means so much to you. We saw him a few moments ago there on the video, and just 1 year here, but it's been a great year for him, not only on the football field, but also personally.
Well, Danny is a guy that, comes from a tough situation, and he's bounced around from school to school, and when I first called Danny, he said, Coach, I want a home, I want a family. And when he got here, this place was so opposite of what he had been used to. And it was tough. It was tough in the beginning, and he did not let his guard down for the first month, but it's like he's a whole new man right now. He's playing dynamite, but I think he finally realizes that, man, we love him and we care about him, and you know, I think he even shed a few tears just talking about how much this place means to him, and you know, it's awesome when we can help young men take a step down that road, and I think Danny being here has definitely been a two-way blessing. It's been a blessing for him, and he's blessed us. So love to see that happen. And
the seniors will no doubt remember the way that this season has gone. Coach, you talk about growing throughout the season, and they're being mentors to so many young guys on this football team that are contributing right now for your club.
Well, they have been unbelievable. When we talk about holding the rope, they have held the rope, and you know, me and you both know this. You know, life is tough. It is tough, and they are going to have adversity all the time. And I promise you, when they are in the struggle, whether it's with their workplace, their marriage, whatever, they're going to look back to this season, and they're going to remember how tough it was. They're going to remember how they responded. They're going to remember watching these coaches respond as Christian men, and they'll never forget that. I guarantee you that they will use this the rest of their lives.
So the Bisons, after the Senior Day festivities, you saw that just a few moments ago, and Coach Simmons talking about that great bunch of seniors, now have to play a football game, and East Central coming in here, and that's a hungry football team that was here on Saturday. And you said before the game that that's a scary bunch when you were preparing for the Tigers on Saturday.
They were. You know, they're a talented bunch. Their tailback's a stud. You know, their tight end's a guy that we thought had dominated all year, best we've seen in a long time. So yeah, I'm really proud of that victory. You know, their coach really raved about his kids before the game and talked about how, you know, man, these guys have hung in there, and you know, you see first drive, they came out pounding the football, but as we've done several games in a row, you know, we give up a few plays and then take the football away, and that takeaway really is a momentum deal. And then here comes Cole Chansey. You know, that guy just gets better and better and better. Big play by Grant Kimberlin. You know, when he's on the edge, boy, he sure is dangerous.
And a great start for the seniors. Grant Kimberlin scores the first touchdown. The Bisons lead at 6-0 early, and then the extra point. There's another great senior, Tristan Parsley, adding the extra point. He's now made more PATs than anyone in Bison history.
Yeah, he's a special young man too. But you know, that's what happens when you take the ball away. That's a game changer. That's why we have got to win that battle this weekend.
And East Central would come right back and get their offense on the field.
Yeah, big third down sack by Sam right here. Put the ball back in our hands. But, you know, I don't think that we were pleased on either side of the ball with our first quarter. It was not clean. You know, really the first half, we could have done a lot of things better and gave up more yards than we wanted to. It wasn't very many, but it was still a lot more than we wanted to. I think that the guys have gotten really used to these shutouts, and you know, when they got in the end zone, we weren't very happy about it.
Ontario Douglas, you talked about him, outstanding running back for East Central. We saw him run the football on Saturday afternoon. Now we move into the second quarter. Bisons lead 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. East Central still with the football around midfield, and a big play by the defensive front.
Yeah, that actually is we brought both safeties and got a sack there, but then, you know, here's a 3rd and long. We just rushed 3 people. We should have brought pressure probably. That was my fault, and gave up the big pass play and let them get in the end zone. You know, that's only the 7th, I think the 7th rushing touchdown of the season. That's 7 more than we would like to allow, but you know, that back was pretty good.
And now 7-7, and here's Andrew Dather. I know you wanted to get him going.
Yeah, Saturday. Giant 3rd down conversion. Yeah, I would have loved to have got Andrew in the end zone. You know, he's another one of those guys that is just really so unselfish. I'm really proud of Andrew for the way, you know, he has dealt with being such a talented receiver that doesn't get enough touches.
Then Brandon Gage with a 3-yard touchdown. Now the Bison's up 14-7.
Covered the kick well. All day long, did a good job with that. You know, we had some busts. We had some busts, and that was a bust right there with a guy playing the wrong gap, and disappointed in that. I think Coach Moat was on fire. He was so upset. You know, Well, there's Cole Chancey again. That young man is really special.
Over 100 yards again on Saturday, broke the Harding freshman rushing record held for 47 years by Alan Snake Dixon.
47-year-old record broken, and we have another week left. I tell you, he's special. You know, he really is. At one point in the game, he was not in the game. I look over, and you know, he played a lot, and I said, Cole, you ready to go in the game? Are you tired? He said, Coach, when you practice hard, you don't get tired. I said, hey, I love it, baby. You can get in there and make it happen.
And make it happen he did on Saturday afternoon, 118 yards, 9.8 yards per carry.
Yeah, and you know, that's a lot of that's Cole, but a lot of that's the O-line. And the O-line really, really imposed their will. I mean, that I think the Eastern D-line they were ready to go home a long time before it was over. Big third down conversion.
Bobby Green.
Great catch from Bobby. Good throw and catch on third down, big conversion. And the more we can throw it, the better off we're going to be.
And you would get a field goal there before the half to go in up by 10, 17-7 at the half. But, Coach, I know you weren't just real pleased going to the halftime locker room.
No, we weren't pleased on either side of the ball. And I went in the offensive locker room, which I don't usually do that, and said, hey, man, we're better than that. And they knew. And I said, I need you to respond. I need you to respond big time. And you know, they did. You know, they knew. They knew. And obviously the second half was really impressive.
Yeah, and the Bisons would respond in the second half, and we'll look at the third and fourth quarter highlights of the Bisons' victory on Saturday right after this.
Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be with the high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all. We approach this problem of re-employment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Welcome back to Harding Football with Paul Simmons. Second half highlights coming up right here. The Bisons up 17-7 at the half, but Coach Simmons wanted more there in the third quarter, and it would be the Bisons really a dominating third and fourth quarters. Harding will get the football here to begin this second half. And, Coach, this is a big drive to begin the second half.
It is a big drive. And, you know, we talk about the third quarter being that's when you separate. You know, that's when you take away momentum. That's why you make sure they know that the first half was not a fluke. It's going to be all day long. You know, those guys go in the locker room and talk about, hey, we're better than Harding. Let's come out here and show it. And then when you come out and you just really march the ball down their throat, you know, that takes a lot of their energy away. And that's what happened. A really impressive drive.
Zach Shelley.
Big play by Zach Shelley, no surprise. Guy's such a stud.
And that drive, 6 plays, 83 yards to start the second half, and exactly what you wanted to start the second half.
Yeah, and you could see the look in their eye now. Well, I hate to see that. That's his first miss of the season, and it wasn't a miss. It was a low kick. I think the protection was good, but we didn't get it high enough.
And now here's a big run from Trayvon Jackson, 43 yards.
Yeah, we didn't fit our gaps right here. We had a twist up front. We're bringing pressure and didn't fit our gaps, and he made us pay, and that made us sick for sure.
East Central, a 2-point conversion, and that ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. 23-13 now. Bisons with the lead in the third quarter.
I tell you what, this really right here is the area that we were the worst in, and that returning kicks, and we didn't win that battle, and we're gonna get that fixed.
This to me was the Cole Chancey drive, Coach.
Yeah.
He was outstanding. He had runs of 13, 13, and 12 on this drive.
You know, when you talk about a young man running behind his pads, that is what he does. He's got such great vision, such great body lean. It's just really impressive. I mean, it's amazing that guy's a freshman. You know, he plays like a fifth-year senior. It's just unbelievable.
The run there from 7 yards out from Terrence
Great
Dingle.
job by Terrence. Terrence played well again, made good decisions all day. He just keeps on getting better.
Bison's up 30-13 at this point. Boy, here's a big play by the defense.
Yeah, tremendous pass rush move by TJ, and a great job by Dre getting that ball in the end zone. And that was kind of a dagger right there. I knew at that point it was over. When that happened, I said, this is a ball game.
And the Bisons now up 37-13 at this point here in the third quarter of play. And you said you felt good at this point, and the seniors had an outstanding day already. And then we would see Colby Webb, who I know is a Bison that you love so much, with outstanding fourth quarter. And here's a big run by Colby Webb to set up the last touchdown.
Yeah, Colby has been such a special guy, leader for us. He has tremendous respect in the locker room. He's just been a servant-minded guy. And
great effort.
I mean, he is a special kid. And at this point, the whole sideline, including the staff, we were all saying the same thing. Let's get that guy in the end zone. He hasn't scored in his career. He's been a giver his whole time here. And so, you know, when this play right here and the great block by Tristan, getting that guy in the end zone, and then watching his teammates react, and just, you know, that is what brotherhood is about right there. You know, just watching the guy that you love have a chance to succeed on senior day, and well, the sideline was going nuts, and just awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
You see Gavin De Los Santos go to Colby Webb, and Coach, that's a couple of seniors, and that's a special bond right there.
Oh, no doubt. And you see Coach Underwood, and you see Zach Shelley, and the guys loving on him, and you know that guy deserves that. He is a special Bison, and really, when we talk about being a Bison and the accountability and work ethic and toughness, and you know everything that we talk about, Colby defines. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. We're going to miss him.
So the Bisons again win the football game 44-13 on Saturday afternoon. And Coach, 27 first downs, 30 a week ago. Just the second half, I thought dominated and controlled the clock. Defense had a lot to do with that. Offense did as well. At halftime, the time of possession, East Central 17-39 to 12-21 over the Bisons. But at the end of the game, 34-06 to 25-48 in the Bisons' favor. That's a dominating second half.
Yeah, and a lot of that was just character and will. And then you see the 9 of 11 on third down, and you know that's all about attitude and finish and staying together. And we just weren't playing clean in the first half. You know, we had an offsides, we had a few busts, and but they definitely put it together and had a great half. And you know, I think that allows us to take momentum into this next ball game.
So the Bisons have won 7 straight football games, and we still have much more ahead on this week's show. When we come back, we have player interviews and a question for Coach from a fan, and we'll look ahead to this week's big game over in Russellville right after this.
Ma.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Back on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons. We always love to hear from the Bisons after victories. And right now we'll check in and we'll hear from Terrence Dingle and from Dre Smith.
You know, that's one of our goals every week, to have 500 yards and 50 points. Didn't quite get to 50 points, but you know, I feel like we played well. We got to roll in a little bit, especially in the second half.
You talk a lot about taking what the defense gives you.
Sir.
Cole Chansey today with over 100 yards, broke the freshman rushing record. How important is that guy to this team and getting that offense going?
Cole is special. Cole, I mean, we pretty much feed off him. He gets us going. Every time he gets the ball, you know, he has a game-changing play almost. So.
We got the passing game going a little bit early, especially big on third down. Was that crucial to today's success?
Yes, sir. I mean, like I said, we just try to take what they give us, and they left it open, so we try to take advantage of it.
Another great day today on third down, 9 of 11 on third downs after 9 of 12 last week. How is this offense able to produce so well when it comes down to third down?
Oh, it's because we're good on first and second, and we have a lot of third and shorts, and a lot of times we can just hand it off to Cole, and he'll go ahead and pick it up for us.
The defense today was able to come up with some big stops, especially on third down. What was the game plan coming in against this team? Pretty balanced offense.
Well, we knew they had a good running back. He was real talented, so we knew we just had to corral him, force them in really third and long situations, make them pass it to beat us, because we knew their game plan was, pretty much to run the ball downhill, and I think we did that.
In the secondary, they have a lot of receivers. They throw the ball a lot. Do you guys look forward to games like that where they're going to be throwing the ball around?
Always. Another chance to get another pick or make a big play. We love it. We love competition, so we love it when we get a chance to play a team that wants to throw it around a lot. So.
Yeah.
It's always good to hear from the Bisons after wins, Coach. And
Absolutely.
Terrence Dingle, what a season he's really having, along with Dre Smith, who making the big plays defensively.
Well, I think you could really kind of look at Terrence's play, and as you kind of graph his improvement, the improvement of the team kind of matches that for sure. His decision making, the better it gets, the better off we are, and really, really proud of him. He has had to work really hard in lots of areas to be our guy, and he's done that. He has grown so much as a football player, but even more as a man, as a student, and I love Terrence, and I'm really, really proud of him. And going into the year, we thought that Dre would be a big-time playmaker for us, and we're starting to see more of that. So that's good.
All right, now it's time for this week's question from a fan for Coach, and here's Bailey Hedden.
I'm here with senior Aaron Baumgartner with this week's question for Coach Simmons.
Hey, Coach Simmons, I was wondering if there's any difference between when y'all go on a road game to Oklahoma versus one that's in-state.
I'm Bailey Hedden with the Harding Sports Network. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Bailey. And, I know one difference is the Bisons will get to sleep in their own bed this week before going over and playing Arkansas Tech on Saturday.
Yeah, but what's crazy is I actually prefer
I know you
the
do
Oklahoma
like the road
games.
trips, yeah.
I like to get on the bus. I like to be in the hotel together the night before. I love that sense of it's us against the whole community out here. It's just us, and we don't have the distractions. When you play an in-state game and you're getting out of bed and you have a 2-hour drive that day, it's fine, but everything does feel a little bit more rushed. But we certainly embrace the idea of going into foreign territory, going somewhere where the fans are against us, and just seeing how we can respond to that. That's our guys look forward to that. I look forward to that. I love to have some visiting fans come sit on our side and yell at our kids and yell at me and get the energy going. That's kind of fun. So, but the big difference is just spending the night here and getting up early as opposed to already being there.
And a big one this week. Bison's on the road over in Russellville against Arkansas Tech. Arkansas Tech 8-2 atop the conference standings, along with Ouachita Baptist. The Bison's just one game trailing those two teams. Week 11 couldn't be any bigger than this is coming up, right, Coach? Against a very good Arkansas Tech team.
Yeah, this season has been so crazy, and not just for us. I mean, there's been so many upsets this year, and every weekend seems to be wild with a team winning that you don't expect to win. And we're thankful to be playing in a game that means so much. I mean, it would not take a crazy scenario for us to be the conference champion, or at least a share of that. And and if we don't get a chance to do that, we could still get in the playoffs maybe, or a bowl game. And my goal is just let's play one more game. Let's play one more game, however we can do it, and let's keep this family together, because it's been so much fun, so special. And we got a battle on our hands. You know, Arkansas Tech leads the league in scoring defense, scoring offense. They almost lead the nation in takeaway ratio. And so, you know, we've got our hands full, but we're excited about it. You know, we're excited about it. You know, the talk in the huddle after the game Saturday had nothing to do with that victory. It was all about winning the next 7 days. And, you know, all year long we've talked about we're going to win on Saturday because we're going to stack up wins through the week. And that has to do with how we eat, how we sleep, how we study film, how we encourage, how accountable we are, how we practice with energy. You know, everything that we do is, you know, it's a win or a loss. And I think the team that wins on Saturday is the team that has the character and commitment and focus to realize the game is not won on Saturday. It's won on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's what we've been doing. You know, we have really been dominating in the detail category, and that's a big part of why the season has changed. And we just got to do it one more time.
All right, Coach, it's always great to be with you, looking back at the highlights, and we wish you the best this week.
Thank you, Billy.
That's all the time we have on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons. We'll have the 2 o'clock football game on the radio broadcast on KVHU on Saturday. We'll see you next time.